Hello YouTube, and here's the final video of that I'm doing of bass reviews of basses I actually have. And ending it on a high note really here. This is my 6th string, my latest inquiry, my ESP LTD B-406SM. I'll just show that 12 in line. As you can tell, I really do like ESPs if I'm actually spending a lot of money on a 6th string. This baby has a pretty nice story behind her. Well, let's start out with the name. I actually think I'm just going to name her Sylvia. I think that's a good name, or Sylvana. I'm not quite sure. You can leave it in the comment section if you want or something in regards to which name I should choose. But that means like it's like Roman for like forest dweller kind of. So I thought that was very fitting with this malted maple top, and it has the sticker in it, the Taurus. So yes, a Taurus is in this electronics cavity. So we'll well, actually, at the end I'll tell you stories. So anyway, you see it's a 6th string bass guitar, 35-inch scale, which is a monster to play. Like, I don't even know the radius of the neck, but I would say it's alright, let's compare it to the Ibanez SR506, which, I mean, is a pretty common bass. You walk into any guitar center and they probably have them. It's probably a little thinner. I don't know, I mean, like skinnier, but width-wise, it's probably a little less, but as far as girth, it is a little girthier. ESP tends to not make, like, wizard-style necks. They tend to make good necks. I mean, nothing wrong with the Wizard, but I tend to like a little more meat on the neck, even though I like them very thin. Like on guitars, we're talking Jackson. I like Jackson. The width of their necks and the girth. But anyway, we're on basses right now. I will review my Jacksons later. So we have here a 35-inch scale, 24 frets. These are extra jumbo frets, which is like madness. I may have mentioned I like medium frets, but it's nothing good. If that's my loss on this bass, I really love everything about it, so I'll take that loss. But so look at the top though; it's divine, really. If you go on the ESP website, 2008, you will find this bass on there. The 406. Remember that. There's a 416. There's a 206. They're both nothing like this bass, really. Well, I'll get into that later. But anyway, so we have an ESP bridge actually with Grover tuners, which honestly, this thing I really don't ever have to tune it ever. Just maybe slight tweaking with using my ear, just because it's a really well built instrument. I would say it is upper intermediate / pro quality. I could see pros using this. That's would be the ESP 400 series and up are like working class musician and up. I will go, like I said, and make another video about that. But so we have a rosewood fingerboard, a spalted maple top, swamp ash body, actually, believe it or not. What the site says and what this little pamphlet thing I got from ESP when I actually bought the bass from StudioToGears.com, they kind of differ in what they say slightly, but that's from the ESP guy who inspected it, and I'd kind of believe him because he kind of knows what he's doing. Anyway, so we have an active 3-band EQ again. So we got this knob, which pick up which one is getting the volume. Then we got this one, just a general volume kind of knob. Treble, mid, bass, and then we have an EMG, not remembering the numbers, no, 45, but I don't remember the letters, but 45 something, 45 something. I want to say 45D and 45P or P. I don't know. But you'll know. They sound amazing. ESP, EMG, nail it. On bass tone. I really do like EMGs. A lot of people say EMGs sound like noobs. It's like not even versatile. You can literally play Brain Drill, or you can play like Cassiope. It all sounds good with these pickups and that amp egg. That's a Vox, by the way. That is a nice amp right there for guitar. Vox. The one right next to it. There's a crate back there, but he's just chilling back there. He doesn't get much action. So I have it. A big thing I must mention right now. See how I have that out? That is a truss rod cover. I would strongly advise you to leave that off. You will be making adjustments if you live in a zone that is volatile to climate change. Where I live right now, it's wintertime. In the wintertime, wood contracts. This obviously is even more so since it is a neck-through construction guitar. So when you have a 6-string bass, you have 2 truss rods, and learn how to do it yourself, because you bring it into attack all the time, you're gonna be broke, son, man. Like, you could be spending that money on like more guitars and stuff, opposed to like paying tech. I'd bring it to a tech once and just pick his brain, and you can use online pick too, and invest in your own tools too, like your own Allen's wrenches and whatnot. That is definitely a good idea. I'll make some more videos on that though, I guess. Abalone inlays. I don't know if you can really see that, but they're shiny and they're like really nice abalone compared to the other one. But the neck through construction, so we got 2 walnut strips, these 2 strips that you can see up. So it helps reinforce the neck, because you got 6 strings, so I'm gonna throw a number out there and say 440 millimeters, the radius of the fretboard. And that is pretty big, and you got 6 strings here, so the tension's crazy. And so you want to have a sturdy, reliable neck, especially a neck-through instrument. So I think it definitely does help these 5-piece neck, and it's maple neck. The neck is maple with 2 walnut strips. And like I said, active. Once again, I'm not a fan when you have to screw this battery off. I wish it was a pop-out, but it really isn't. I have to screw it, and it's not cool. Electronics cavity, of course. Oh yeah, it's got the instead of an ESP 3-band EQ thing, it's got like an EMG one. So I thought that was pretty cool. I do like EMG. There's a lot of really good EMG artists, like Andy James, just a man. Javier Reyes is a man. But there's something to be said about the neck-through construction on a guitar. Now, once I got my Jackson SL3MG Soloist, which is a neck-through instrument made in Japan, honestly, there's no way I can go back to bolt-on, seriously. I know that sounds retarded, and you probably will discredit everything I say after that, but just playing neck through, just the aesthetics and the feeling of it is just, it feels so right in your lap. It wants to be there, that neck through instrument. And plus, access to the higher frets is easier. You know, they have contour necks like that. That other bass right there, it's like contour the bolt-ons, but nothing like ESP. Neck through. And it definitely does make a tonal difference as well, so beware of that. I would say for the better, less of a punchier kind of sound, because on bass I want a nicer, smoother tone. When bolt-ons they tend to be a little snappier. I noticed that. I don't know why. But feels a big thing, and I'm a neck through guy, so like I said, this will not fit in the at ESP Universal case back there. B-Series Universal. So I tried and it didn't fit, and I was sorely disappointed. However, I cut my losses and I got a case, which I'll show you in a minute. But I want to go through a little story of how I got this. It was very premeditated, me buying. When I buy an instrument, I look and look and look for, and do research, watch videos, ask people, ask other players in real life and online. And I really found that this bass I looked at it for a long time, and I watched the price on eBay of it just drop. It's A stock. It's not B stock. It's a normal instrument. Studio Gears, this place I bought it from, they do have quite a bit of B stock. This is A stock. I cannot stress that enough. So mind you, it's the B-406SM. 406. 2008, they made a run of these in South Korea, which, if anyone knows much about guitars, South Korea is really good in making high, working class, lower, upper end guitars. Really good. South Korea is at it. They make all the high end, like 1000 series ESP guitars and stuff. They make a lot of their stuff for like other companies, like say Chapman guitars. They're pretty awesome and they're pretty cheap. And they're made in South Korea, and they're like known as some of the best quality stuff out there for the price. But anyway, like Schecters, a lot of the upper end Schecters are in like Dean imports, like the RC series, the Rusty Cooley ones. Those and the Michelangelo B-407s, they're all made in South Korea, and those are like heralded as just quality instruments. For the price too, like you're paying $1,000, you're getting that, like wow. So anyway, this was made in South Korea, and then in 2009, I believe they phased out this, and they made the 416, which is like the exact same thing. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing. You look at them and they look exactly the same. All the specs are the same and everything. I'm pretty sure. If I'm not, call me out in the comments. Alright, fine. But, they're pretty much exactly the same instrument. And they moved them to Indonesia, as you all know. Indonesia is pretty hit or miss. If you're Ibanez Premium Factory, Indonesia is a great place. I think Premium's pretty good. If Marcos Fogli is playing your stuff, it is pretty good. He's not gonna play crap, and he's awesome. That really has nothing to do with the quality of the instrument, but a lot of Ibanez Premium's good. But as for the ESPs made there, they make a lot of lower end stuff. Indonesia is basically like probably, I can't really compare it to another country. Maybe Mexico. No, I think Mexico's better at making instruments than them. But anyway, they moved it to Indonesia. So I got a South Korean made instrument that was only made for like 1 year pretty much. Same instrument and they made them in Indonesia the next year. So I lucked out. I got a quality made instrument in South Korea, which is like, they're good. They're comparable to Japan. Japan makes some crazy, way better stuff. Like, they make ESP Standard Series and they make Edwards, they make Comparisons, or Caparison, whatever you want to call it. They make like USA quality stuff, or maybe a little under, for like way cheaper. And Japan is just like wicked good at making instruments. Korea is comparable to them. Definitely comparable, I would say. So anyway, I bought this from StudioGears.com, and I contacted them on eBay first of all, and I was like, first of all, it's really cheap because it's been sitting around for a while. So the 416s go for $7.99, like street new. Nobody pays attention to retail. I'm not even gonna mention retail ever because it's retarded. But this was selling for like $649, $660, $680 maybe. I'm not quite sure, but it was $6 something. So I go to studiogears.com and I'm like, I'll give you 6 flat for it, free shipping and handling. And they were like, we can't do that, but you can not buy it from eBay, so we don't have to pay like seller's fee or whatever. And we'll give you a little better deal. We'll give you $620 for it and free shipping and handling. So I was like, yeah. And I did buy this, and it came in the mail on October 2nd, 2012. So I really am a huge fan of it ever since then. I'm not gonna lie, if 6-string might not be your thing, the first couple days you're playing it, it's so intimidating. It really is. Like the 35-inch scale, oh, the girth, you're done. Like, I would not recommend playing this before playing it. If you're a guitarist, do not play 6-string bass before guitar. Your hands are fatigued. Play it after. You can manage, like, if you play guitar, say 3 hours a day, you can play this like 2 hours after. If you're playing that 5-string all night long, easy. But this really will fatigue you, I'm not even kidding, and you really need to be careful, avoid injury. If you're getting really, really cramped up, don't keep going. Just take a break, man. Stretch your fingers before you play too. But alright, so I would recommend this to pretty much anyone who wants a 6-string. They don't really have reviews of this on YouTube. There's this one guy, this one like German dude, who has this bass, and he gets nice, and other than that, that's all I really saw. And I asked him about it, and he said it was pretty good. And he's German, so he speaks better English than most English people, or anyone who's a native English speaker. So just mind you, it's kind of heavy too. It really is, but that 5-string, that's heavy too. So get a good strap. So yeah, there's just some better shots of it. If you have any more questions on this, because you're making a purchase for like $620 or something, you really want to know what you're buying, so you got to do some research. And honestly, if you have any questions about this, just contact me and ask me. I'll definitely be more than happy to tell you and give you more information than you probably need. Just because that's what I do. Oh, and I would recommend, if you have a 6-string bass, when you get strings for it, you get a little heavier strings, because you don't want it flopping around. You want it to have some swing room, but you don't want to use really light gauge strings, so it's going to be slapping against a fret all the time. You use heavier gauge strings so you can get the action lower, and you don't have to worry about it slapping against the frets as much. And remember, get nice at adjusting these truss rounds. This was made in Korea. Most stuff is made in Asia, East Asia. So you will need metric. You could go to like a Harbor Freight tool. They're right next to Guitar Center, all over the place. Guitar Center is pretty pointless when it comes to asking for like Allen's wrenches. So like, what's an Allen's wrench? So you're best off getting your own. Don't mess with the saddle height. That's usually fine, okay? Saddle heights, don't worry about it. Anyway, so I will show you the case, a case I would recommend. So, hold on a second. Alright, so this is the case I bought for it. I actually bought it on Christmas, like with some Christmas money I had. It's a case by Mono. It's really expensive. It's $200, which is a lot of money for someone like me. But like if you're dropping mad buck on bass, why don't you get a case that's gonna last you and it will protect your bass? This is waterproof. Now, it's not waterproof as in the sense of I could put a weight on it and drop it into the Mariana Trench and come back 200 years later unzip it, and it's going to be completely dry inside. I mean, like, I'm walking down the street, going to my friend's house, we're going to jam out. I have my base in here. My base isn't going to get wet. The rain's just going to come off it. But you cannot completely submerge it. People do stupid stuff like that. Like, you see videos like these cases that are supposed to, like, they'll say, oh, it can take a minor fall. They'll throw the case with the guitar in it out like a 3-story building, and it'll like crack, like that Andertons video, like when they threw that case out the 2-story building and they just cracked the guitar. It's like, bro, alright, that's kind of entertaining, but why don't you give it to me? So it's got a handy pouch right here where you can have like tuners and whatnot. But anyway, just quick, it has this thing called the headlock, which is very great idea. So say I'm putting my bass in here. Oh, we're gonna go jam out, gonna rock out some Ozric Tentacles or something, right? I just get this, and it velcros. Well, gotta have it on, right? And it's velcros and it has this rest, so that any abuse, it's not moving anywhere. This bass is not moving, and has nice straps on it, like these. It's really comfortable. It has a nice handle, but everything on here, $200, but you really do get quality. So if you have any questions on this, just contact me. You can fit a 35-inch scale bass in there easily with a pointy headstock. It's definitely the best case I've ever owned, maybe aside from my Jackson RHL case. So anyway, thanks for watching. Good morning. Man. See ya.